Newly released Hillary Clinton emails show that top donors to the Clinton Foundation were possibly seeking special favors from the State Department when Clinton was at the helm. Conservative watchdog Judicial Watch released 44 new email exchanges, which it says were not in the original 30,000 handed over to the State Department. In one email exchange, for example, an executive at the Clinton Foundation in 2009 tried to put a billionaire donor in touch with the U.S. ambassador to Lebanon because of the donor's interest there. Clinton has previously denied any wrongdoing.
There is absolutely no connection between anything that I did as Secretary of State and the Clinton Foundation. So people can say that, but I'm proud of our philanthropic work, our personal, family philanthropic work, the work of the Clinton Foundation.
The new revelations appear to be raising red flags among some of Clinton insiders. Ron Fournier from the National Journal explains.
People very close to the Clintons, including a source who's been working with the Clintons for more than 2 decades, who told me the week that the New York Times exposed this rogue server, that what this was all about was the foundation, that the blurring the lines between their political and professional lives, that's what was in the emails, was to look for the pay to play, this kind of favor giving.
So, Kimberly, this is what people have been waiting for. The classified versus non-classified emails. Comey, the FBI director, came out and said we're not going to indict her, but he didn't say that she told the truth, contrary to what she had said. But now this issue, remember, Juan Williams, when he's here, he always says this issue about the Clinton Foundation is the one that bothered him the most. Do you think that there is more where that came from?
I do, and this was the other piece that we were waiting for. We knew what came out so far about the server, but the big key issue was the pay for play, the idea of blurring the lines between personal and professional, giving favors in lieu of cash rewards and bounty, so to speak. So this, I think, is interesting because we kept saying, Comey didn't say anything about this. He left it alone. It was sort of like the elephant in the room to wonder if there could be more to this story. I think there's more to it legally and in terms of exposure and also ethically, which should matter, especially when you couple that with what's going on right now and her lack of trustworthiness and the numbers that she's kind of suffering in that department. I mean, Trump is too, but this is a specific example that you can tie to that.
After Comey did his press conference the next day, Eric, he went to Congress and he testified. And one of the things that Congressman Chaffetz asked Comey was, is the FBI investigating the Clinton Global Initiative, the foundation, as part of the FBI investigation? He declined to say, which I think left some ambiguity that maybe they did. But CNN today is reporting that the Clinton Foundation was not part of the recent investigation into the private server. It was separate. That the FBI went to DOJ earlier this year asking for it to open a case into the foundation, but the Public Integrity Unit declined. The Justice Department had looked into whether it should open a case on the foundation a year prior and found it didn't have sufficient evidence to do so. And so apparently...
Sounds familiar, right? Sounds
like that under the rug.
Those other emails, they didn't have sufficient evidence to indict her, and maybe not on this one. I disagree completely. I think this is the textbook example of quid pro quo, pay to play,
and corruption.
Corruption. So I think there will be a day where the Harvard Business School, the manual for corruption, the chapter under corruption, this will be one of the examples they use. You cannot have Hillary Clinton here with her spokesperson, Huma Abedin, working for both the State Department, Hillary here, and also the Clinton Foundation. Now, this email that you talk about from Doug
Band.
Doug Band at the Clinton Foundation saying we need to take care of this big donor to Huma Abedin. Now, she's working for both, so you've already got possible corruption.
Well, remember she got that sweetheart deal to get paid by Teneo at the same time as the State Department?
But then the bottom line is Doug Band introduces her to the big donor to the Clinton Foundation, who therefore gets access through the State Department. State Department is doing business with the Lebanese ambassador. You can't tie quid pro quo in. You can't define it anymore.
We might have to go to Shepard here in a minute.
Jewel, you know how tight they are with Doug Band.
Jewel, what do you think?
It's atrocious, and I don't understand it, and I don't get... First of all, I never...
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. I never understood the Huma Abedin relationship that you alluded to, right? State Department payroll, Teneo payroll, run by Doug Band, who also was at the CGI.
Yep.
And Clinton Global Initiative. How are you allowed to do that? I guess technically you're allowed to do that, but look at the optics. I guess you're allowed to do that, but the optics are atrocious. There's no defending the situation. This is exactly the concerns that people have always had about the Clintons. It goes back to the Lincoln bedroom and all the things that people are concerned about the Clintons. And what I don't understand is she knew that she was going to run for president. She's always known she was going to run for president. whether it's this or the speeches, why set yourself up this way? Do you really need to do this? And the answer is, of course you don't. But I think in some cases they can't help themselves, and I find it very disappointing.
And they've always gotten away with it, haven't they?
What do you think, Gutfeld?
This is like when you turn over a rock, the
Oh,
Clinton
yeah, I hate
rock,
that.
and it's just a smear of slime. That's the emails. The thing is, they've always been obsessed with money. Bill Clinton saw this as a reward. He's the poorest governor, remember? And America owes him, and he's entitled. He's like the disgruntled employee that steals from the register, and the register is America. They did their time. They want their money. What I find interesting, most interesting in their emails, there's a nugget of info when they were in Trinidad and Tobago. There was an email in which somebody was asking Huma Abedin for Hillary's schedule book, where she would be. This is a very important piece of information. And Huma writes back, I'm not there in my room, but the door's open. Her schedule is on the bed. Think about that. They left Hillary Clinton's schedule on a hotel room bed in a foreign country with the door open. You wouldn't even do that with a box of chocolates. You wouldn't do, I mean, and this is incredible. I mean, it's like me at a nude beach, no protection.
You do have to wonder how Huma Abedin and
Frightening
others
thought.
in Clinton's circle, if she becomes president, how any of her team would ever get another security
It's
clearance.
insane. I mean, this is
After that.
they cannot. This is another example of lax security.
Can I
We have
point
to. We have a little breaking news.